Hear me? I can't hear anything you're saying. How about now? Can you hear me now? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Oh man, it's so close. Let's see here. My earbud's working. I just tested it. No, I cannot hear you. People are going to be like watching this and be like, this is the worst. And we're going to be like, this is the best. You should watch us. Ooh, you just left the broadcast. Whoa, this is so intense now. So if everybody's watching and you can't hear Sen, it's not his fault. It's his computer's fault. It's Microsoft's fault. And so this is why, like, if you can hear me, Macintosh products work. Go Apple. And and what he is saying in mime, although it's terribly insensitive to like hearing impaired people, is that Microsoft is good too. But it's not. Hey, someone's there. Hi, Amy, how are you? What's going on? He wants to say hi, but he can't. Okay, we're gonna do this whole show where you're just gonna send. No, I don't know how this is gonna work, but so we're having technical difficulties, Amy. Like Sen's microphone doesn't work, so he's gonna have to find creative ways to. Oh, I know, me too. I can't wait to see you, PAX. It's exciting because hi, I'm Ammon. This is the Maple Syrup Show, but Sen, we should have tested the audio before we went live. But just really fast, Amy. Yes, I'll be there, and I'm going to be showing off a game at the Rising Showcase, which will be super fun. So I'm going to be showing off Twinkle Twinkle, which is a really cool little game, and drop by, and I'd like to see you, and we'll play some little tiles on a little board, which is what games are. So what are we going to do, Sen? Do you want them tell me about me? Okay, here we go. This is going to be a one-man show. Where are you going, Amy? This is a 1.5-man show. So the first question on the show is always tell us how you got started. Okay, so how did I get started? I think I've already shared this on the show, but I'll say it again. So I got started with like I started like this art company, and I was selling art prints, and I had a gallery in the mall, and literally like the it was going awful, and COVID hit, and nobody wanted to buy art because they were all stuck at home, and it was terrible. And so I started making a game called Taco, and I illustrated it like right there at the mall on my little like laptops with Wacom tablet, and I illustrated the whole thing, and I made it in about 28 days. And I launched it on Kickstarter, and it funded on accident because I didn't know what I was doing, and I had nobody following me, and I had like no fans. And I lost a ton of money on it. And then when I actually got the product in from China after like a million fiascos, the funny thing about the whole thing is that I didn't have any money left to ship the product. And so I put all of the shipping fees on my credit card so that my people who supported me would get their games that they paid for. Yeah, it cost me about like $7,000 to ship everything. So I didn't like do what some of these like people on Kickstarter are doing, where they're like charging people like these exorbitant extra shipping fees. Like, oh, we ran out of money. I was like, dude, you guys supported me, and I promised a product, and I made sure they got it. So that's how I got started. So, Sen, what's my next question? We're gonna be doing like, it's gonna be like those old school like silent films. And Sen's going to have to do all of his communication through facial expression. Oh, and words. Okay, so I hear there's some big news. Tell us about Gnome Hollow. What's up next? Yes! So Gnome Hollow got announced on Monday. The publisher that I selected is called The Op or USA Opoly. They're like one of the largest publishers in North America, and they're a fantastic company. I actually met them at um, Gamma, the Gamma Expo, and so I met Tony there, and Tony was a really good friend, and he answered a lot of questions for me. And it's at one point, like as the buzz kept growing and growing and growing. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you read my interview on the Mojo Nation. I'm so glad. Tony was there, and he was awesome. And so, like, the more he supported me and helped me through this process, the more I felt like what I really needed to do was trust his team. And so they actually came in and gave me an offer, and it was tough because I had some really good competitive offers on the game. And every time I would like go to bed making a decision, I would wake up the next morning feeling like the right decision was the Op. And so I decided to go there. And that decision's been really good. Like I've had a great experience with them. And so yeah, so that's coming out. Gnome Hollow will be released at Gen Con next year, and I'm going to be there. And there's some really cool things happening that I can't tell people about. Like seriously, like they told me some of the marketing plan today, and it's like so cool. So and then the other thing that's cool is that I had always dreamed of a Kickstarter for Gnome Hollow because I had designed it to kind of be a Kickstarter game, and there wasn't time to do a Kickstarter and release next year. So what they've decided to do is we've compromised, and so they're going to do a like sort of a deluxe upgrade kit that you can buy in addition to the game, and it's going to go right into the game and make it like so you can get the Kickstarter premium feel, but with a retail release. And so it's a very cool compromise. So yeah. All right, next question. Working with the Op's been amazing. They have an incredible team. Like just an incredible team. I have been working, so I'm still the illustrator for the game. And thank you. So what's fun is like I'm actually really comfortable working as part of a team. That's most of my career. And so Gnome Hollow I kind of built by myself, and my wife was like giving me input, and then like Nathaniel Mortensen was giving me all this great input, and Sean Wanders giving me input, and all of these really awesome people, Brant Brinkerhoff, they're all giving me input, and I've got all these people helping me. But the cool thing here is that now I have all these people that are doing specific jobs, and I don't have to do all these, wear all these hats. And so I've been able to really focus on the illustration side of it. And so the illustrations are awesome. I'm going to start sharing them now because I just got approval today to start like showing that off. And I've been re-illustrating most of the game, and I've been recording it top down in 4K. So I'm going to be releasing a whole bunch of videos of me like speed painting all the watercolor of the characters, the cover, everything. So there's going to be a lot of really cool things coming out, and getting some creative direction from some awesome people in the game industry instead of me trying to guess where to take the game has been actually really helpful. So definitely understand why designers go with a publisher. All right, next question. This is actually, I think do you think it's working, Sen? Are you okay with this? It's super weird, and like the 9 people that are going to watch this are going to love it. They're going to be like, Ammon's like wild. Okay, 12, 30, 70. Okay. Ooh, Jason Tam. Are you able to speak about the deal structure with the Op since you are both the illustrator and the game designer? I presume you're getting more than just a designer royalty. So I can speak about it a little bit. I have a really unique offer, and I know that because I got so many offers. I was able to it was funny because one of the publishers at one point during the process of signing Gnome Hollow, he said to me, he goes, I actually think you probably have a better snapshot right now of the entire board game industry because you have so many offers from so many publishers, everybody from small publishers all the way up to like the biggest publishers. And so like I had all these sort of offers, and I could see how they were structuring them. And so I think kind of the deal that I have with the Op is a unique one. The cool thing about it is that they did give me sort of like a bonus for the artwork, like being the illustrator, just like a one-time sort of like payment in addition to the advance. And so ultimately like that included like certain things, but then like if they asked me to do stuff that was kind of out of scope, they're like, hey, like send us a bill. So I'm actually Getting paid to work on my game sometimes, which is cool and strange and awesome. They're just such an incredible company. They're very fair and honestly, like, and this is kind of what I told, kind of what I told Arla, who is the creative, the art director, or the creative director. He's one of those two. I just told him, I said that ultimately at this point, um, I think that I'm like the luckiest guy in the world. Like I get to design my own game and I get to work with them side by side and be like part of the team, even though I'm also the creator. But the cool part about it is that in addition to being able to work, oh gosh, I just lost it. Hold on. The interesting thing about the whole thing is that oh, as I'm doing the artwork, I have a really unique perspective on the game. I understand how the game works like intimately, and so as I am doing the illustrations, I'm able to work really fast with them, which has been a really cool experience for them because I'm solving problems that they haven't even seen yet by like updating art in ways that I was already planning. And so the and I also have a vested interest to make sure that the game is the best game that it can be and as beautiful as I can make it. And so they don't have to like push me to like really good art. I'm motivated in like inside to have this be the best thing I can make. And then this next question, would you self-publish again? That is a great question. So self-publishing is crazy hard. And um, self-publishing has its own benefits, right? So like if you had like a major following and you could self-publish, you're going to make more money than you are like signing with a publisher. But you're also going to have to like, and you've heard this from tons of podcasts and other designers before. You're going to have to wear all those hats. You know, you're going to be a manufacturer, you're going to be a distributor, you're going to be the marketer, you're going to be all of those different hats. And you have, and the thing is like people are like, I'm stunned that you can design a game and illustrate a game, and those are two like really big parts of a game, right? Um, I would say like the business side, the relationships, the marketing, the manufacturing, the billing, right? Like being an accountant, all those things are really, really, really as important as being a designer or being an illustrator. And so nobody's going to be good at everything. It's just not, it's not realistic. Nobody can do it. If you do it and you pull it off, it's incredible. But at the end, you're going to be exhausted. So, I did the graphic design early on. I did all the graphic design for my game, and they have a graphic designer that's taken over a big chunk of that. Um, and she is amazing. Her name's Erica, and she's doing a phenomenal job. And what was so fun is like I had brought so much finish to the entire game. So when the op took it, we had like a meeting, and everyone was like, "Well, what are we gonna do? Like it's almost done." And Erica showed up, and she had like a mood board, and she was just like, I think we should do this and this and this and this and this. And she had this vision that was on top of what I had already built. And I sat there and I thought, man, this is exactly why I like working with a team. Um, because letting her like take that vision has been so cool, and it's changed some stuff. Like they hired Manny Vega from Flamecraft to write the lore for Gnome Hollow. And so he brought this really fun like lore element, and him and I got to work together on the lore. Like he was working on it, and then we'd have conversations, and I'd be like, "Well, maybe you should try this or that or thought." And then we turned into friends as we're working on this thing, which was so much fun. But what I guess the whole point, and answer your question, is like, and I'm not doing the graphic design anymore. I've stepped back and let go of that, and it's really fun to see like where another person's going to come in and like put their fingerprints on it a little bit. And like the thing is, like a game is such a big thing. People can have their fingerprints in different places, and it's just going to make the project better, especially when the team is united. So I hope that answers your question. I got a thumbs up for anyone joining us. Wow, I feel like the host right now. For anyone joining us right now, basically he can't talk. So I am the host and the guest and the interpreter, all like in one. And if you have any questions, write them down, and we're gonna rock this, even though like it's a unique experience. So technical difficulties create problems, which create like interesting solutions and make things fun. All right, bespoke game bits. All right, actually, I hate to talk about Gnome Hollow more, but I started doing this because of Gnome Hollow. And I'll show you what I did. So these are 3D meeples that I made. I printed these 3D meeples off on my 3D printer, right? Oops, that one's upside down. Sorry, my hands are stained from an art project. Um, I've been doing like alcohol inks for a project, and it's really cool. So I made these little meeples for my game, and my wife saw the little stickers that I'd made, and I stuck them on the little 3D prints. And she said, "These are so cute. I love these so much. Why don't you do that for other games that you have?" At the time, if you've read the article from Mojo Nation, at the time I'd been in a car wreck and I wasn't working, and I didn't have an income, and I was working on Gnome Hollow as kind of like a mental thing for me to work through like a traumatic brain injury. And so, but I made these, and my wife goes, and then I made all these little pieces too. These are like little fun little tokens. They're all 3D printed, and they've got like art on them for Gnome Hollow. And my wife said, "Do this for the game." So I grabbed a couple games off my shelf, and I just took the meeples and I put them on a piece of paper, and I drew a pencil, and I sketched out like what I thought they could look like. And so all these little like stickers came about. Like, so these are like stickers for Draftosaurus, right? If you've played Draftosaurus, it's like a bag full of little meeples, and you're drawing them out, and they're dinosaurs, but this gives them like a little personality. Stuff like Obsession. These are some of our like more popular sets. So you get like really cute little dudes, and it brings the meeples to life, or like your little cooks can cook in the kitchen. And some of them I actually started doing like watercolor for. So like, the moles from like the root, they're little watercolors. And what I do is I sort of take the artwork that's already in the game, and then I interpret it to match that game. So I'm not just like doing one style. I'm doing like 100 styles. Oh yeah, it is like watching Penn Teller. Isn't this fun? Okay, we have figured out like a new way to test all of your guests on this show. You're just gonna like mime things and see if we can pull through. So like to show you the difference, like you can see like this is like a really cartoony style to match this game, right? This is like the casting shadows because people are always asking us to make stuff. But then like I don't know if you've ever played the game Evolution. It has this like big chunky dinosaur meeple, which is so cool, and you're like, oh, I want that. But look how cool that is, right? So, but this is to match the style of this game, and so it's like a very different style from that. And so what I'm always trying to do is I'm trying to like take the style of whatever the game is, and I'm trying to interpret that out in a way that isn't like taking from like the copyright of the game or whatever, but also is like my own interpretation. So it's almost like a form of fan art, which is kind of a cool place to be. And so that's actually turned into my full-time living. I sell them on Etsy, and that pays my bills, and it's allowed me to be home with my family and make games. So that's how I started. Okay, so that's a great question. So yeah, I actually have publishers giving me games because so I actually had a publisher. I don't know if I can actually say this. Okay, so I'm going to leave their name out of it. So I had a publisher, and they contacted me, and they said, look, are you that guy that makes the stickers for our game? And I said, yeah, I do. And they said, we love it. Could you send us some copies? And I'm like, absolutely, man. Like, I'll send you copies. And they said that their game had been out for about a year. And as anyone who works in the industry knows, like the sales on your game start to like taper off over a year, right? Because like all the people who've really wanted it have bought the game, and then like they start tapering off. And then they saw like a giant spike in sales, like it had just been released again. And they said they couldn't figure out where it went, but what they saw is they saw pictures on Etsy start showing up of my stickers on their pieces. And they realized that it re-excited people about their game, because suddenly like I brought their game a little bit more to life than it used to be. And so now we're working on a deal where like they're going to start releasing them and selling them through their own store and licensing them. I've had 2 companies that approached me, and they were like really worried about the stickers. I had one ask me to like to stop selling a particular set of stickers, and they claimed that I had like scanned their art and stolen their stuff, and I showed them that they were completely my illustrations, and I have proof of all of that. And so they stopped bothering me. And then one other company just said like, you can sell them, they're definitely your own interpretation, but please like remove all of our box out of your pictures. And I was like, sure, absolutely. So I removed all those pictures and I stopped showing that. But for the most part, I've had almost like the opposite effect. Like almost every publisher that I've talked to at this point has been like, wow, this is fun and I love it. And it gets us more publicity, and people are sharing them, because it's people who are trying to become influencers on Instagram and Facebook and other places. They're looking for material that they can show off. And so this is a new way that they can show off material other than like doing a box opening or playthrough. Like it's a new way of doing it. Yeah, I only sell them on Etsy currently, because Etsy handles all the taxes and they take care of all the complicated stuff, and they keep a big chunk of it, but they get rid of my headache. So like I probably like about 26% of every sell, they keep it. It's theirs. And then I have to buy my materials, and I have to buy my ink, and I've got to like do all the labor. And so I keep, the rest of that for doing all that. And my wife actually does most of the work in our sticker shop as I've been like traveling for Gnome Hollow. She's been pretty much running it, and then I do the illustration and get them going. So I did worry about copyright in the beginning, and I reached out to an attorney, and he was really clear. And he's like, look, as long as like you're not like duplicating their artwork and it's your own interpretation and you can prove that it's yours, you're in safe ground. And when I shared that letter with the one company that was concerned, they immediately stopped bothering me. I actually think that publishers don't understand. A lot of publishers don't understand like the legal rights of things, and I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to piss off publishers. Honestly, like there's no single set of stickers that makes enough money that it's even worth like burning a relationship with the publisher. So if a publisher really contacted me and was nice about it, it was just like, look, like please don't do this. I mean, we'd work something out. So so far I don't think anybody's upset by it. I don't think anybody's bothered by it, and if they are, they really haven't shared it with me, with the exception of one foreign one that was really unkind. And so I was like, dude, leave me alone. So yeah, is this, I mean, I don't know if this is interesting for people or not. Like I know that they're silly, but I have this is my newest set. It's for apiary, and it's just like really fun. It's just like little like water droplet interpretations, little flowers and stuff. So they're just simple upgrades that like add a lot of flavor to like a piece, kind of like that. So the difference between this and this. Number 1 seller. Whoa. Okay. Far and away, Dune Imperium. It is like the top seller by far. Like it's crazy. A close second would probably be Parks. Parks sells really well because they're clear, and so you can still see like the wood through there. The Obsession stickers are super popular, and what I find is something like hits, and I've actually had several publishers as their games, like other games are hitting like Kickstarter, they'll actually promote my stickers in their Kickstarter. So like Elf Creek Games actually did that when Honey Buzz was live for their like sequel, which they haven't released yet, and I'm like anxiously waiting. But they actually tagged me in one of their updates and said, dude, you got to check out these awesome stickers that this guy's making on Etsy. Go support this guy because we love what he did with our game. And again, that's more reinforcement about sort of like what people were feeling in the beginning when I started doing it. So, all right, let's see. Does Sen have another question for me? Does anyone else in the audience have a question? I can't see how many people are on right now, but okay. So yeah, there are people that like stickering. So there's two kinds of kids, right? There's the kind of kid that when he gets a Lego set, like at least in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, my favorite part's putting the stickers on the pieces." And then the other kid was like giving it to their dad and saying, "Hey, will you put this on for me?" So I was the first kid. I liked putting stickers on things, and my wife likes to put stickers on things, and so we usually fight over who gets to prepare like the piece when the stickers are done and test out the stickers to see how they fit. Like my wife just did all these little llamas today. There are all these like little tiny llama meeples for a game called Llama Land that we're releasing this week. We only put them on one side of our meeples so that we can show people the difference, which is why they just don't have it. But she put all these on too. I didn't get to put any of these on, and I'm really sad. So, really fun. But, and then, yeah, we got a whole bunch of new stuff coming out over the next week. We're releasing stuff for brass and both brasses. Just some of our stickers actually solve problems. And this is something that maybe people will find interesting. So, like, we've had quite a few customers reach out and ask us to solve some problems for colorblind players. And so we're actually solving, and so whenever we look at a set now, we're always looking at ways to fix this. So, like, I did this little set for Camel Up. I don't know if you're familiar with Camel Up, but in the second edition of the game, all the cards have a different symbol on them for each color. And so what we did is we added those to the camels so that a colorblind person can actually like play the game with their friends without having to say, well, which one am we moving and where's it going? Which is such a frustrating thing. Games like there's a game called Azul. You've probably heard of it. They sell so Azul released in the base game. There is so much better than having to mark them with a Sharpie. Most people don't know this, but like colorblind people, they like actually like scratch up and ruin their games really bad because they're writing on everything with Sharpies to try to like make it playable for them. And so they don't get the same experience that a lot of us get, which is not fair. So Azul is a beautiful game and they have all these really cool tiles, but then they did a blue tile and a red tile that didn't have anything on it, thinking, oh, this is different enough. But there's actually two types of colorblind where blue and red's like mute out and they look the same. And so they released replacement tiles, which is super cool, right? So they do these little replacement tiles for the blue and the red so that now you could see all the tiles. But what they didn't do is they didn't give you stickers that would go on the boards so you could see which board spot was red and which board spot was blue. And so we had like one of our fans is like, dude, is there any way you can fix this for me? Because we love this game and we play with a person who is colorblind. And so we released it. We have sold so many copies of those stickers. It's crazy how many people wanted it. So we're also, we're trying to be a problem solver and we're trying to like add additional value to the gamer, like, I don't know, gamingdom, so that everyone can have the same experience. Okay. Have you experimented with UV textured stickers? I'm working with Vision Australia for my game to increase vision accessibility. No, I have not. Several of a lot of the new technology for manufacturing, it's expensive to buy the equipment, especially in the United States. We have tried to work with companies in China to manufacture stickers for us because we actually like every single sheet of these is hand like printed. We cut it in our house and we trim them down so they fit into a number 10 envelope and then we ship them. So like it's a lot of work. Totally, my wife is like amazing. The problem is that some of the stickers are so small and they have such small tolerances. The Chinese manufacturers can't do them better than we can. And so like we've been unable to find a manufacturer that can actually do it. So to give you an example, like look how small this piece is. And I mean, the sticker is really tiny on the front and it fits perfectly, right? Like, I give them about a half millimeter tolerance on each side so they fit perfectly. And then we test them over and over until we're certain that they can fit. But unfortunately, we have not been able to find a Chinese manufacturer or any other manufacturer that can actually function as small as we do. We have vinyl cutters. So how they get cut is we use crickets and other vinyl cutters that can actually read like crop marks, and so it'll automatically center and it'll cut it accurately. Every now and then one messes up, and then some guy sends me a message or some lady, and she's like, the heads are not on the cutout, and I'm like, sorry, and we just send them new sheets. It's not a perfect science, and different places have different like issues, high humid areas, or if a person's played the game a lot and there's a lot of oil in their fingers, then sometimes the stickers will tend to peel, and then we just generally send people a free replacement set. We always try to keep them happy, keep people happy, but I would say like 90 to 95% of all of our customers are like, we absolutely love this. This is so fun. We have a really high percentage of like people who purchase from us multiple times. And so they keep coming back. Oh, so if you go to Etsy, our store, and you type in Levity Games, it'll pull right up. So that's our little logo is like Levity Games. Is that backwards for you? It's backwards for me. So I don't know why, but and then you can always visit our website too. There's a link to our store on our website. So if you go to www.levity.games, you can find access to everything that I'm doing. I have like a upcoming games and development list. I have like a link to the sticker store, and everything's on Etsy. Sometimes people reach out to me directly and they're like, hey, like I hate Etsy, or hey, I know you're like losing 25% or whatever of like every sale. Like, can I just buy them from you directly so that you don't lose that money? And then I'm like, sure, yeah, do it. Or they'll want to do a bulk order. They're like, hey, we have a gamer group and we want to buy like all these stickers for like 20 people. I can give people deals, and then they just PayPal me, and we just do it that way. So there's lots of ways to do it, and we sell a few other things on there too, but it's majority of it is stickers or decals. So yeah, any other questions? Oh yeah, we've tried that. The problem with selling stickers at a booth at a convention, because I've done it in our local convention, SaltCon. People are like, oh, what are these? And they have no idea, like, and I can even like set out like meeples like everywhere, like just across my table, just like bags of meeples and sheets of stuff. And they just are like, I don't understand. Like, are you selling custom meeples? And I'm like, no, I'm selling like stickers. And I can even put up like big like things of stickers, but it's such an uncommon like upgrade that like they almost don't know what to do with it. And then when people do figure it out, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And they'll bring their friends back. But the cost, when you look at the cost, right? So like my stickers are fairly inexpensive. Like if you want to buy stickers for Camel Up, right? I think this is like $6 on my site on Etsy.com. By the time you go pay like for a booth at a convention, like I have to sell like 150 or 200 sets of stickers to even begin to like break even. And the amount of work to add to prepare for a convention prior to, since we make them all in our house, on top of whatever orders we already get, is really difficult. And so we have gotten to the point where we just like we're not doing it. Like if I could find a manufacturer, then we would probably start doing it. But the Etsy thing is working really good, and I'll probably end up putting it on like Shopify so that people can do it on the Shop app and a couple other places, so that we're going to diversify where we're going, because Etsy's not a terribly reliable Etsy's not a terribly reliable place to sell things. Like in June of this year, when I was like going to all these conventions, Etsy decided to put us on like on hold, our payments on hold for 6 weeks. And then we found out in their contract that they could do that whenever they wanted. And we found out they were doing it till they'd done it to like thousands and thousands of sellers because that bank in California had collapsed. And I think they were just scrambling to like maintain enough money in their system to like pay their bills. And so they just stopped paying us. And oh, YouTube never started. Sorry, Troy. We're actually really like we're like forcing this thing to happen. Like Sen can't even talk, and he has a lovely voice. And sometimes he plays his little banjo, but you can't hear it today. Like we're really like we're working through this. We're 20 minutes in, and I haven't stopped talking. So I'm gonna drink something. Okay, what cons am I gonna be at? Let's talk about it. So for the rest of this year, I'm only going to one because I'm tired. I went to like 12 cons this year, which is a lot. And yeah, it's been a lot. All summer, like I think I spent like a fraction of the summer at my house. I'm going to PAX Unplugged, where one of my games called Twinkle Twinkle is in the PAX Rising Showcase. So I'm going to be there. And if you come to PAX Unplugged, like come say hi. I want to hang out with you. I want to meet you. Are you going to be there, Sen? Are you going to PAX? Lame. Just joking. So, are you going to any conventions this year? You're done for the year. Yeah. So I'm gonna be at PAX. I want to go to BGG Con, but I just had too much to do with finishing the art for Gnome Hollow. And then next year I'm gonna be at a whole bunch. Oh yes, no, the Sen live reaction feed is awesome. Like, okay, let's test this. Are you ready? Sen, give us your biggest smile. There it is. Yes. Okay, frowny face. See, you're good at this, man. Like you got like the facial muscles for this. When my daughters say tear when they do that, tear when they're sad. So, but yeah, like honestly, like I love conventions, and I've actually missed all my con friends because like you get to know these people, and going to conventions feels weird because once you get to know people and you see them, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you again, and it's kind of like this weird like alternate reality for like a week. And then like the alternate reality goes away because you go home, and then like you go back to the convention and you start seeing all those people again, and it's like we're back to this alternate reality. It's like this really like high low weird sort of like, not that my house is low. My wife is watching this, like it's never low, babe. It's beautiful here. But yeah. So there you go. Con crash is a thing, dude. Like so much. And I think like when you hit like 3 in a row, when you hit 2 or 3 in a row, you come back and it's like, I would come home and like sleep for 2 days. So I remember, okay, this is a secret. Don't tell anybody. This year's the first time I ever went to a con. Like ever. For like board games. And so my first con was SaltCon. And then I went to Dice Tower West, and then I went to Gamma Expo, and then I went to like every con in the country practically, as like I was building the buzz for Gnome Hollow, and it was a lot. It was super exhausting and expensive, but amazing. It's so worth it. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, getting to know everybody at the cons. So it is so real, Amy. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. It's so real. Okay. Mime's so real. That's so much fun. That's so much fun. It's hard work mentally and physically with bonus content from concrete floors and artificial lighting. Yes, that is so true. All right, Troy. I don't think I know you personally, but you sound awesome. So, yeah, concrete floors, rough. When you stand on a concrete, like the next time you go to a con and a guy is pitching you his game that he's worked so hard on, and then he went and kickstarted, and like he made this thing and it's like his baby, and he's been standing on concrete for hours. Like, dude, just take a minute and listen to his thing. and like give him a pat on the back, give him a hug, and be like, dude, like this is amazing that you're here. Like it's so much work, and it feels good to just have a person pay attention to you. And I've seen those booths where there's a person standing there and like everyone's walking by, but they're doing everything they know how to do to sell their game, and they're grinding it. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I need to go back and watch that one. I need that because I'm going to a con and apparently I'm gonna be in like some booth with some other people called Kickstarter and all these other games. So it might be like kind of stressful this time. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get some tips from you. So, but yeah. So I mean, that's me. I'm an illustrator. I'm a game designer. I'm an upgrade maker. Like I kind of just do random stuff, and I'm a prototyper. I like making prototypes. It's one of my strong suits, and that's probably why I fell into this because of prototyping and like this passion for like making something look the best it can look and to tell that story. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a whole lot more to the story unless somebody has like a really specific question. Oh, my favorite games. Whoa. All right. So I break games into two categories. The games I play with that I like to play with my friends, and games that I like to play with my family, because those are totally different types of games. So it's actually interesting because it kind of ties back into why I made Gnome Hollow the way I made it. One of the things I wanted a game that was really accessible, because like I wanted people like my wife and my kids and my mom to be able to play something that I made and enjoy it. And so like we play very different games as a family. Like we love this. We love Draftosaurus. It's fun. It's simple. It's 15 minutes. It comes out. We can play it. We love parks. We love as a family. We love lots of stuff. Like we play Tapple all the time. As a family, we like Tapple from the up. Hey, I plugged you guys. What? I'm so good. But like, yeah, so we play lots of stuff. Like the new Leaf, I'll plug another guy. We're at 3% power. We're gonna die soon. Dude, you guys, if you're not like supporting Tim Eisner, like you should be, because this guy's amazing. Yeah, I love Tapple. But for me, like I like playing heavier games. Like I love I actually like Rages of Ganges. I've been playing a lot of like stuff that's heavier, and I love dice placement. Are you gonna die? Sen's gonna die, you guys. This might end. Okay, I have 8 kids. Oh wait, we're gonna get back to that. Sen, I'm just gonna talk until it dies. Okay, Sen. Let's see here. Metal coins. I love metal coins a lot. I don't want to make them. Too much of a hassle. But when people do make them, I generally buy them because they're way more fun than little tiny fake paper coins. Way more fun. My kids, I have 8 kids. My wife and I got married. And yes, you have power. So my wife and I got married 3 years ago, and I had 3 kids, and she had 5 kids. So we Brady bunched, and our kids range from 12 years old to 24. Yeah, so like we have 3 kids in college, and we have 3 kids in high school, and then we have a kid in junior high, and we have a kid in oh no, we have 4 kids in college and 2 in high school now. Sorry, it changed. It's a new year. It just changes all the time. And then a kid in elementary school. So yeah, she's in 6th grade and she's trying out for the school play. So she's probably going to be Tinkerbell or something. Who knows? That's happening tomorrow night. So it's just constant over here. So yeah, I need to sell a lot of copies of Gnome Hollow. Just feed 8 kids. It's a lot. But yeah, dude, pizza night's like $50. Like seriously, like sometimes like it's $75. Like it's like a lot to buy pizza. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, let's see here. What else? I mean, like we could talk about Sen. Like, somebody say your favorite thing about Sen in the feed, and let's see his reaction. Because let's be real, like, Sen is doing amazing things in this industry. Like, from the beginning of, like, when I started, like, getting to know people in this industry, Sen was, like, kind to me. Like, he took time to, like take a call from me when he didn't know who I was or what my game was or what's going on, and he answered questions. So, like, honestly, this is part of the reason why this industry is good, is because of people like Sen who are willing to, like, help other people, take their time on uh Wednesday nights to, like, mime answers and to join in at great personal sacrifice so that, like, the word can get out about things, and, like, he can, like, raise everybody else up. So I think that's how we should end this, is, like, by saying, like, what a great guy you are. And you know what? Oh, yes. Since super helpful. He didn't know anything about me, and he answered a lot of questions. It's exactly right. Sen has been incredible and supportive and such a kind, authentic cheerleader. That's exactly right. Yes. There it is. Tears of joy. That's a hard mime. Um, Also, let's give a major shout out to Kat. Kat Dreyer is awesome. Oh yeah, we got to do that. We're gonna do that in a second. Kat Dreyer is awesome. She cheers on so many people, and she works crazy hard on her games. Like if you pay attention to her for 10 minutes and you see the list of things that she is doing, it is incredible what she does. And I'll tell you a personal story about her and why I think she's so great. When I was at Hey, Ammon Anderson is how it. It is a great show. Ryan, dude, we're, like, literally, like, he can't talk. And so I'm talking for everyone. Like, it's like, when next time we're at a convention together, like, he owes me, like, an energy drink for this. Like, that's where we're at. But so I'm at Gamma Expo. Everything's blowing up with Gnome Hollow, and she walked up to me and she said, "How are you? Have you eaten? This is an apple. You look like you could use some food." And then she put her arms around me and hugged me and said, "This is amazing. And what's happening is amazing. And don't you dare sign anything this week." And she convention mommed me in a big way and took care of me and, like, was just kind. And so, like, I can't even say enough kind things about Kat Dreyer. She's, like, just really, like, just a great human. So that's how I feel about her. And this probably wouldn't have happened if she was on the show tonight. And it probably wouldn't be happening if Sen was talking, because then he would have been like, too much, too much. So, okay, let's see here. What are the questions? Oh, yeah, dude. Technical difficulties are the best shows. Like, for real. Like, look at this perspective on Sen. Like, we're never going to forget this. And it'll be online for us all to watch later. So, okay, let's see here. Final advice. Are we good to go to final advice, and we'll give people a break because, like, you know, stuff. Okay, so final advice. Wow, I didn't prepare for this. You know, I think the key to final advice, and this is where I'll leave it, is, like, continue to develop your craft. So whatever that craft is, right? Like, if you love prototyping, find ways to get better at it. If you love designing games, like add tools to your toolbox. And so continue to push the envelope. And whenever you feel comfortable with whatever it is you're doing, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm here, I've reached my destination. There is no destination. Like, there's always another step that you can take. There's always more you can do to refine your craft. There's always a way that you can, like, get to the next level or continue to do it. And I think success comes from when you keep going and keep going, and then you push past milestones. And when, by the time years have gone by and you look back, you're like, wow, this is taking me places that I never thought it would go. And is that you reaching backwards? So he's having real technical problems. This is hysterical. I can. clearly stated, like, the right side of the screen is the best side of the screen. Anyway, yeah, keep working on your craft. Never give up. If you don't know where to go on your craft, go ask somebody who knows. And when they give you feedback, listen to it. Because generally it comes from a good place and there's always something true there. That doesn't mean you have to do everything other people say, but it does mean like that there's probably nuggets of truth. And if you break it down and you figure out what it is, you're going to improve whatever it is that you're doing. So if, bring in Manny Vega on Gnome Hollow to write the lore was the right choice, because that's his strong suit, and that's like he's so good at writing that story. And so, trusting other people to do that is where you got to go. So, okay, since I'm the host and the guest, Sin, where do people find us for Meeple Syrup Show? There it is, right there. And on Twitter and on Blue Sky, you're Sen-Foong. Good. Dreyer Inc. on all the things. I think that's what she always says too. And then for me, and Meeple Syrup on all the things. And then for me, I'm Levity Games or Ammon Anderson. So yeah, I'm at Ammon Anderson on X, which I think is dumb and it should be called Twitter. And levity.games is my website, and you can find all my things there. So awesome. We did it. Oh my gosh. Yes, and you can support these awesome people. Last week, I supported them with I think 99 cents, and I sent stars their way. And so you can do that too and help these people to cover some of the costs on running this show. Do you need a Blue Sky invite? Yes. If that's for me, I do. Please send one. I would like to. Because I don't know how to get in there. I joined their waiting list, but they didn't respond. So we'll talk. But and if anybody ever needs anything or a question or just wants to talk or drain his time, Sen will take pretty much whatever message comes his way. I just threw that I threw you under the bus. Anyway, thanks for watching. Next time, who are we going to see and what's on the show? Do you know? It's going to get announced on the Meeple Syrup Show's Facebook page and all the things. So something's coming soon, and Sen promises that next time his sweet voice will ring loud and clear for you. Good night, guys.